Rick Ross replies to Drake's diss, The Heart Part 6. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion with your guy Oleezeh. Don't forget to subscribe. So, we all know there's been a lot of drama recently. I never touched on what Rick Ross had to say regarding Drake's last diss, which seemed like a farewell to the whole Kendrick versus Drake diss.
We just heard that new BBL Drizzy, the diss, the bomb. Hold your head up, cut it off like Rick Ross and hold it up. Himalaya, Anastasia, Fantasia. Cupcake, man, you looking bad. You looking bad, man. You might as well go on Maury Povich and tell your story. Go to Maury Povich. Hey, white boy, I hear you bowing out. It's obvious. You can't take it. You know ain't nobody playing a song about offending pedophiles in a club. We don't do that. But this ain't over. The Ricky Rose say it's over, right? Cause you tapping out, you know everybody see it. But, like I said, we finna party tonight, and it ain't over till the boss says so, you hear me? Listen, we keeping Drake away from the car show cause the kids are welcome. Nobody with that background, no, shall be allowed on the Promised Land premises. I just wanna make this clear, white boy, they said you said, if you were young girls, you promised you would have been arrested. Whoever wrote that for you should have put more thought into that. White boy, it's your writers. Whatever message you translated to them, that wasn't the way they were supposed to do that. And as a writer, when it come to you gotta remove yourself from that. White boy, that wasn't the line right there.
Cameron and Mace give their verdict on the Drake and Kendrick beef. We're talking about it on their show. It is what it is. Check out the clip.
So who you think won?
The battle?
Yeah.
Right now, man, I'm going to be honest. Kendrick, I don't like what Drake dropped last night because it wasn't bad, but I don't like the way it ended. He seemed like this the last one I'm doing. Like, can't end it when you just want to end it. You know, yo, man, it's all, I'm tired of doing this, that, and the third. And I just think that you shouldn't have ended it like that. You just got to keep going. That's just my opinion right now. I'm not saying Drake ain't my bro or nothing, but I don't like the way he ended it, if that's the end for him, me personally. So I'm going to go with Kendrick right now.
Yeah, I'm going with Kendrick as well. It seemed like whatever he started out doing, he picked up the speed, pause, and really did what he was supposed to do. I thought the record that he did, the last one that he did, was the one I thought he should have done a little bit earlier. But, you know.
Meet the Grams or the other one?
The Meet the Grams, I would have started with Meet the Grams, and then I would have went into, Not Like That. Or what's the name of the record?
Exact name.
Not Like Us.
Not Like Us, yeah.
That was crazy. When I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be tough. Yeah, so when he dropped the second record, the last record, not second, that Not Like Us, that was the one I was expecting.
Yeah, look, back to back was good. The Meet the Grams, I thought it was good, but I just thought the one Drake dropped before that. See, what happened was this, then we went out.
Yeah.
What was Drake one before that?
Push-ups?
No, not after Push-ups.
Family Matters?
They played that in the club. And Meet the Grams, you couldn't really play in the club. So when niggas went out that night, they played Family Matters like 10 times back to back in the club. So when Kendrick came with an upbeat one, they played that in the club like 10 times in a row. And the one Drake just dropped, it was kind of slow. It seemed like he don't want to do it no more, pause. And I just don't like the way it ended. But like you said, Murder, we'll see. To be continued. But it don't seem like Drake want to battle no more.
My son reacts to Drake's security guard getting shot.
So listen, I've been getting tagged all day about what happened to Drake's bodyguard and the shots that happened in Drake's Toronto home. I'm listening, and I knew as soon as this happened that they were going to say, see, this is what I'm talking about. You know, when this is what happens with the beef, it goes too far. This is why you can't do this in hip hop. And for the record, I would like to say, first of all, you know, I don't know what happened, right? And somebody was shot. So I wish that man gets well. You know, I don't wish harm on anyone. But I want to give y'all context to the reality of what we deal with. Does anyone blame football teams when they go to the Super Bowl and at the end of the Super Bowl somebody gets shot because their team lost? Does anyone blame the baseball teams where the Yankees is playing Boston, and if you lose in Boston, somebody might get shot and killed because the fan is irate and he angry because they lost, and it's always violence and all those things happening? Does anyone blame the players for that? Right? If the fans are too invested, do you blame the players who are competing at the highest level because they have a competitive nature? Hip hop has always been competition. It was jams in the parks. You battled ciphers. There are hip hop battles every day. URL battles every day where people sit face to face and they talk about each other's mothers, they talk about each other's kids, they say all type of shit. Nobody gets killed, nobody gets shot. We cannot blame hip hop competition, right? The competition of hip hop that people have every day, right? If something turns out negative all the time. Only thing that we can control is the two people and the people that their entourages. This is what we're trying to teach emotional intelligence. We want to show in hip hop that there can be competition. The reality is in life, everybody doesn't like each other. There's going to be difference. There's going to be conflict. And if two men can come and they can compete on a record and they're not beefing, you can't blame them because some fan is overly invested in some even. And I don't know if that's the situation. I don't know what prompted someone to shoot at Drake's house, but immediately hip hop is going to be the reason for it. I just don't think that's real. I don't think that hip hop should be the blame for something that happens. As hip hop artists, we are competitive. We are competitive. This is just the reality of what it comes with. I've been battling my whole life. Y'all want to try to put this? Come on, man. Two artists that battled in hip hop because of battling in hip hop have never died from hip hop. When you look at the people who died in hip hop, they died because they had street beef and it turned into hip hop. It was real beef that they put on wax. It wasn't people competing because they said I'm better than you and you said I'm better than me and we want to prove that who's the best. That never turned to somebody dying. So y'all want to put that on hip hop? Cool, if that's what you want to do. But the reality is it's not fair. It's not fair. First of all, we don't know what happened, but it's not fair. It's just not fair. Come on, Drake been battling for years. Drake was battling a street. He was battling against Meek Mill. Ain't nobody get shot and killed. He battled against that was surrounded by a bunch of streeters. Ain't nobody get. He battled Pusha T, who was another street. Ain't nobody get shot. This has been hip hop.
So Russell Simmons, the legend who was part of Def Jam's heyday, has spoken out about the whole Kendrick and Drake beef, and even talks about P. Diddy. He's on his positive vibes ever since he left America, and I think he's living in Bali. But anyway, I got the clip right here, people. Check it out.
Call this guy a white boy or a pedophile. Call this guy, even saying, oh, look, I raised my children properly. That's my focus. I'm a real man because I do the following. Every little punchline is hurtful. And they lead to more hurtful punchlines and to gunplay. How many people have died in hip-hop for over rap beat or drill music? This idea of using our poetry to tear each other down is the lead thing on Instagram. More important than anything else. More important than destruction of the environment. More important than anything. The possible world war. More important than anything. People say, oh, I just need entertainment. That way I don't go crazy from all the real world stuff. And I get it. But what kind of entertainment are we consuming? Is any of it really uplifting, helping us to be better or happier? Do we feel better when people are down so we can feel up? We have to look inside ourselves and try to look up and be excited about our brother's rise, not his fall. When you tear someone down, or when you watch someone tear someone down, try not to get so excited. I know it's fun to watch to some people. If I had a nickel for every nasty meme sent to me by people whose lives were enhanced and built by Sean Combs, it's like, seems a bit hypocritical since the only reason you have a life is you worked for him, or he gave you a job and or lifted you up somehow. Watching our brothers fall is hurtful. Having everybody get together and laugh at our brothers fall, or supporting the tearing down of our brothers, it's tough. They may think it's, entertaining. Some of the memes are funny, right? But we have to look up, train our mind to see the good in things and not the negative.
Yeah, fam. I told you Russell Simmons is on his positive vibes. And I believe this is before Drake's security guard was shot. So it's kind of prophetic the way he predicted that this would get into gunplay if people are getting so personal. And he predicted it right. I mean, obviously, we still don't know whether the shooting was related to the whole Kendrick-Drake beef, but the coincidence and the timing is pretty on point.